right, hello and welcome to our review thing. We now have a name.
Yes, we are the Milk Duds.
Yes.
Funny and clever. As always with us.
Exactly.
I liked it. It was Sean's idea.
Yeah.
I liked it.
It took a lot of work. We had multiple names before that. So, anyways, today we are reviewing Belle, one of my favorites and my first partial review that I did online, just typed up. It wasn't even really a review, it was just a recommendation. Now we're doing the actual review. So
This was a fine looking movie, based in the year of 1769 in Britain.
Yes, England.
England, sorry,
Britain.
England. Sorry, whatever, however you want to.
They call it Britain in
Call
the
it.
movie.
Yeah.
Anyways, it is also based on a true story.
Yes,
The events are true. The dialogue.
right. They didn't have transcripts from the actual
Actual.
conversations back then.
Which is a shame.
Yeah. But the director's name is Ama Asante, and the story is written by Missan Sage.
Really? Armand Asante did this?
That's what I thought. I was wondering if there was a relation
Oh, that's interesting.
or relations.
Probably not.
I don't know.
Probably not at all.
So basically, a young girl is adopted, or not adopted. Her father was a Sir David Murray.
Oh god, you did take detailed notes.
Well, he was in the Navy, I guess.
Yes.
Royal Navy.
Yeah, he was in her. Oh no, His Majesty's Royal Navy.
Okay.
Time, I think.
Yeah. And
Anywho,
I guess he had fallen in love or had relations with a black
With a
woman.
slave.
I'm guessing was a slave.
yeah.
And had a child with her, and the mother died, and so he decided to take the girl named Dido, or Belle,
And Belle.
and basically take her to his family, and his uncle was the Lord Chief Justice at the time.
Which, for those of you who don't know, I don't know why you wouldn't know this, but that is the Supreme Court of the British Empire. So, yes,
Little plug.
our what is turning into or fast turning into our traditional beverage of choice,
Yeah, I think this is gonna be the beer we drink.
Modelo Chelada.
Modelo Especial.
Oh, Modelo Especial Chelada. Sorry about that. But yes, he is, as far as legal decisions in the country, second only to the king.
Very powerful.
Yeah.
Very powerful. And a powerful performance by Tom Wilkinson, I might add.
Oh, that's his name?
Right.
I knew that guy from other stuff.
Oh, yeah, he's really good.
He's...
I can't really think of the other movies he's in, but he's in a lot of them. Yeah, good actor.
Very good actor.
Yeah.
I think everyone in this was amazing. If you've read my other review, I have nothing bad to say about this movie. I love every intricate detail. Every fiber is in the right spot.
It
Really
was
keep that from
a very good movie.
Oops.
I agree wholeheartedly. It was a good movie to watch. Story was good. Characters were interesting. Dialogue was good. It's a period piece, I guess you could say, as they call them. Very beautifully filmed. Very good.
5 minutes.
Okay. Well, I got a lot of notes.
Yes, you do. All right. So, let's see. I'm gonna jump in real quick if you don't mind.
Yes.
One of the things I love about this movie, first of all, it is so multifaceted. It's not just a story about slavery or blacks in England or any one particular thing. I mean, it really goes into family dynamic. It goes into just the customs of the time, which I think is very well and very detailed as far as the customs and the traditions and the protocol that they have to endure, and just all sorts of randomness like that. I mean, it goes into every little detail. But what I really noticed was, the family interaction, first of all. And then, of course, the personal and social dynamics with the society as a large and everything. But at the same time, I don't feel it ever relied on any one piece to hold it up. Like, it could totally stand alone as a romance movie.
Yeah.
It could totally stand alone as a black rights movie or women's rights movie even.
Yeah.
It has so much to it. I'm just going to touch that. So
it did. It did, you're right. And it wasn't a film that's, while it may have been trying to make some sort of statement, it wasn't the kind of movie where, okay, this is what we're pushing for, and here's what our idea is, and here's what we want people to think at the end of the movie. It really was. It dealt with family, race. I don't use that word. I'm sorry. Ethnicity relations. It dealt with etiquette and
ethnicality. Ethnicalitisms.
Oh, very good.
Thank you.
And also social standings and things like that. So it really was a very well-rounded movie. It dealt with all of that. Relationships between uncles and nieces or father figures and things like that.
And but what I really liked about it is, like you say, it was well-rounded. Nothing was blatant. Nothing was just shoved in your face. I mean, I guess maybe just from the synopsis or whatever, I took it more as, okay, yeah, it's the whole race relation thing, or I believe you said it was called ethnicalitisms.
Fragilistic expialidocious.
That's the one. But no, it wasn't blatant. It didn't rely on the stereotypes of, like, the beaten slave and everyone in society was just completely downtrodden. She had hardships. It was almost like she had a disability. Mm-hmm. And throughout the movie, she realized, it's not a disability. Like, what the hell am I doing? Why are people treating me like this? But that goes both for her being a woman and her being black.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so essentially, and it was, it had sadness to it, happiness to it. It was, so the young girl grows up with her cousin Elizabeth, and who of course is
white,
Anglo,
white,
and of course they're very close, so Belle or Dido receives news that her father dies. So sad news. Not only losing her father, but she barely knew the guy.
By the way, spoiler alerts. Sorry.
Oh, right. I mean, it happens early on. But,
yeah, still.
But, so she becomes an heir to his money and... Heiress, sorry.
Women get the S.
Right.
Because women got the S.
Well, I don't know what word I could... attached to that S, but...
Sorry, by the way, if you haven't noticed, we drink during and after every movie.
Yeah.
And last time it was very, very late. You may notice the sun still up today.
Right, it's a daytime review here.
Yeah.
We put this off long enough. So that happens, and so, at some point, they have some guests come, another family with 2 sons, and... the one is interested in Dido, and I guess the other one is interested in Elizabeth, or claims to be. And so there's that whole thing, of course, because they're always trying to marry somebody who's wealthy and has land, and, that improves their social standing, so that was very important to them. They were a very, extremely rich family.
Yeah. But you know what, and I don't mean to interrupt, but you know what I thought was really interesting about that? Because, first of all, I kind of just thought they were both a-holes.
Yeah. But
at the same time, after that, like, the first time I watched it, I'm like, I just really want these guys to get decked. Both of them. But, after watching it now, I was thinking about it, and I'm like, well, I guess with the understanding of the timing.
Yeah.
like, because it is a period piece and the way people thought back then, you know, I could totally see someone saying, well, obviously that has to be, there's a good side and a bad side, and that's the one taking over or whatever, or excusing because she's half white, you know, excusing the black half. But,
well, he's sort of like a liberal-minded person who has all these, you know, illusions of being somebody who's for the people and for this group and this and that, but is really just simply tolerating it or overlooking certain things because he feels that he should, I guess, and not necessarily truly believing and really not even caring about the fact that whether she's white or black or half and half or whatever the case is. I mean, I think he did care about her, but he even said it, you know, at some point in the movie that he overlooked his mom's, her mom's, basically, you know, her flaws because she was simply black. And he didn't, it wasn't that he didn't care about it, he just kind of overlooked it. I don't care, I still want to marry you, or I want to be engaged to you, and I overlooked the fact that, you know, you're half flawed.
yeah.
Basically, which in its own way is just as evil as somebody who's just, actually probably more evil than somebody who just comes out and says, look, I just hate you because I don't like you and I don't like what you are.
Well, I don't know if I'd say more evil, though, because if you look at it in today's perspective, okay, 10 years ago, what was it, like 80-something, 90-something% of the country was against gay marriage?
Mm-hmm.
And, like, adamantly against it. They're just like, no way in hell, that's wrong, whatever. And now, it's reversed. It's like 80-90% pro-gay marriage. And very few people are holding out to say, you know, we're still against it.
I would have to check those figures.
Well, they sounded good when I made them up. But the old one, I think, is closer to being accurate. I don't know about now, but I know it's over half the country now is pro-gay marriage. Or equal marriage, whatever you want to call it.
And that leads us into our next movie. No, just kidding. But well, yeah, I mean,
we'll be doing short bus.
I'm sure it's changing. I'm sure it's changing. But
my point is, you know, those people. Would you say that they were evil just because 90% of the population, actually more than that, in any situation, they just go along with the crowd?
I really shouldn't use the word evil because I don't believe in evil. But yeah, it was just a term that I threw out there. It's not that it's evil. It's just
unless you consider ignorance evil.
Well,
in that
I was
case,
about to say it's ignorant.
Yeah,
I mean it is, and that's what it comes down to. Is the other brother was played by somebody who's always been a jerk in movies. It seems.
Yeah, pretty much.
The blonde kid from those crazy Harry Potter movies. He's all grown up now and just as much of a jerk in this movie as he is in this.
Oh my God, that was Malfoy, wasn't it?
Yes, it was. Yes,
oh my
it was.
God, how did I not notice that?
He looks a little different.
Okay, Malfoy's totally in this movie.
Right, and he's still a jerk.
And he's the same character. He's
really
just like, oh, you muggles and you half-breeds. You know.
Yeah. So they get involved with these brothers, and at some point, you know, the son of a vicar or reverend becomes involved with...
We've got 30 seconds left.
Well, we're going to have to edit it. Becomes involved with the uncle, the Lord Chief Justice, because kind of helping him, or I don't know, I don't know what his he was there in what capacity, I guess, is
secondary protagonist.
Was it?
Oh.
He was very involved with the case.
He wanted, yes.
He was very involved with the big court case that was going on.
He's the equivalent of a civil rights leader back in 1760.
Could say that. 1769.
9.
You know.
69 is a hard number.
Nice. Right?
So, yeah, see, he's like the civil rights leader of the time. He's trying to help these people. And I don't even think it's just in that aspect, but it definitely leads him down the path where he wants to get into law and whatever you would call that, litigation.
A lower barrister. No, a parabarrister. A parister.
Parister?
Nice.
A parister.
So he gets involved with the uncle, and so he... Then
not sexually.
No, not in that way. No relations there.
No.
Armando Sante.
No.
But so of course he then bumps into Dido and seems to immediately become enamored with her.
Yeah,
find her interesting.
pretty much.
And but the big court case is kind of like, you know.
But even that scene where he addresses her directly, and she just turns around. She's like, "Don't talk to me."
Right.
We have
not
been introduced.
Yes.
Yeah, and then she starts, and it's funny because she's held in this very precarious position where she's above all the servants, including the white ones, and yet below other people in society. But it's interesting to see her like commanding the staff.
Mm-hmm.
Like when she tells him, you know, you should not be interrupted during dinner or whatever.
Right. And of course the white servant immediately corrects himself.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So she is in a very interesting position where, you know, she's an heiress of all this wealth, and yet she's also half black or half African, and
or half Negro.
Well, as
they say in the movie,
right?
Yeah.
She's referred to as a mulatto.
Right.
So she is, and also a woman. So there's this pressure on her, somewhat. Not that she has to marry because she has wealth already, and that's usually the reason for marriage. She doesn't have to marry necessarily, but then again, there is still kind of that expectation that, well, you need to find a man, you need to be married. Then again, you have all this power. Then again, you don't. Like you said, she almost in a way has a disability because she's kept protected in a way. She doesn't eat with them when they have guests over. Mm-hmm. She's part of the family, yet then again, it's almost like a dirty little secret.
Yeah.
So I'm sure it's a sad position to be in.
Definitely.
And there's even a scene where she's walking through her own hallway in her own home, looking at all the portraits of the family members, and there's always this, this black character in the background, a slave character, and sort of in the background, down,
just like a
always
servant.
beneath
Yeah.
the royalty, I guess you can say, and she begins to try to beat her skin off. It's very dramatic.
It was dramatic.
Yeah.
This movie, okay, if you watched our review of Tusk,
I apologize if you did.
This is the exact opposite of that movie.
Yeah.
The dialogue. Okay, one of the first things I wrote somewhere here. Oh, yeah. So the dialogue to me is almost rhythmic. It's like a poem the whole way through. And there are so many great lines in this. Like, I don't even want to quote them because I'll mess them up. Watch the movie and listen to them. But, I mean, so many things, the way they're stated, they're so eloquent. And I don't know if that's part of it. Maybe I'm just a sucker for eloquence, almost Shakespearean type.
But without being too overdone and in a way somewhat boring. This was more like a lot of proper speaking and great dialogue, a lot of great interaction with the characters. The actors delivered the lines perfectly. It was a great movie.
I'm glad you feel that way.
I mean, I enjoyed it. It was a good movie to watch. I would even watch it again. Maybe with somebody that hadn't watched it. Perhaps it may not be a movie I'd pop in if I was bored. Maybe, but I would definitely watch it again.
Oh yeah, I know I would because this is my second time, so I have. Right. But I would watch it again. I would watch it alone. It's a bit heavy. Like you said, it's nothing you just pop in to pass the time.
Right.
But it's like, you know what? I need a good kind of feel good I don't know if you'd say triumphant. In a way, yeah.
It's in its own way.
I mean, had they continued, I think it was 3 years after this movie ended is when they abolished slavery, something like that. So they could have continued just a little bit longer, and it would have been this like huge triumphant movie.
I mean, they could have made it some epic film of like 3 hours, but I'm glad that they didn't because, this was, I don't even know how long the movie was, which is probably a good thing because I wasn't thinking that it was extra long. I was waiting for it to end. I think it was a perfect length for the story that it was dealing with.
It actually felt shorter to me this time.
Did it?
Yeah, it almost felt like too short. Like I could have used another hour or two.
Well, I don't know if he makes any albums anymore, but I'll go to Tower Records tomorrow.
Too short? Yeah.
Yeah. But so and then there's this in a lot of romantic movies there's two sort of male suitors, I guess you can say.
Princess.
Yeah, a prince, so to speak.
Just go ahead now.
Okay.
Who doesn't love the Spin Doctors?
I don't know. I only know two of their songs.
Who doesn't love those two songs?
But so there's the rich guy who's trying to court Dido, the guy whose brother's Jerky Malfoy. Yeah. And then there's the guy that's helping the uncle, the Lord Chief Justice. This guy's Sam Reid plays his Mr. Davinier.
Davinier.
Yeah. And
I also thought it was interesting. Everyone pronounces his name differently. She calls him Davinier.
Right.
He calls her Davinier.
I'm guessing it's French.
It must be French.
And I noticed that because I actually was spelling it incorrectly, almost on purpose, in the beginning in my notes as Davinier or Davinier, because it did almost sound like they were saying that. Well, I spelled it like this, but I think this is probably an E here though.
Oh yeah.
Davinier. Okay. And then I changed it again because people were saying it differently.
Yeah.
And that just goes to show how people don't respect other people's culture and don't pronounce their names correctly, like French people in Louisiana who say their name with an ER as at the end. That's a little.
Like my name is Boucher.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I'm Bouchier.
Bouchier.
Right. No, you're Bouchier.
Bouchier.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Not to.
Bash on the French.
The court case is actually the big important part of the movie because the Lord Chief Justice has been called on, like the Supreme Court.
Once again, spoiler alert, because we're going to.
Well, we're not gonna reveal the decision, but
granted, the decision's been out there for
and you can do your own
250 years, but
But this court case is based on a slave ship, a cargo ship, called the Zong of all names.
Awesome.
Who the owners of the ship, or what I don't know what you call them. I don't know what you call that.
Seamen?
It's the seamen. I don't know.
That's how he refers to them in the movies.
They're running all over the place.
Yeah.
They
drilling down the side.
They insist. They're filing an insurance claim basically with the insurance company for lost cargo, which was human cargo, which were slaves. They claimed that they had to dump the slaves off, which was done, I'm not going to say quite often, but I'm sure more than once back then, to either save the ship or save the crew or whatever the case was. So their defense was that...
Or even quell uprisings.
You
just want to calm people down. You're like, okay, look.
Disease and whatnot. Anything that's, dangerous to the livelihood of the ship and the crew.
Dangerous to the pocketbook.
Right, and that's what it came down to. Yeah. So he was called upon to make a decision on this case and determine whether or not the captain of the ship made a wise decision in dumping the slaves off the ship to save the rest of the crew because they were short on water. And so they were filing a claim with the insurance company because the slaves were insured. Mm-hmm. So he was supposed to determine whether or not the captain made a good decision on that. Yeah. And you'll see that if you watch the movie.
When you watch the movie.
When you watch it.
You are legally obligated, after watching this, to watch the movie. Less away from the specifics of giving you the whole movie. Sorry.
Oh, no.
I know, I'm just
that
kidding.
Was it
but, okay, the emotion, I think, is completely palpable in this at every step. If it's the love of the father-uncle, he's the father figure. No, grandfather, right? Wasn't that his son?
That was his nephew.
Oh, nephew. Okay.
Yeah.
So, yeah, his nephew, taking care of Dido, like, his love for her, his protection of her, everything felt real. I mean, the love of the sister-cousin was real. The look in their eyes, the tone in their voice, their body movements, everything lended credibility to what they were saying. So it was excellent writing and excellent delivery every step of the way. Like I said in my other review, I think the set was perfect.
Yeah.
I mean, it's so it's like a huge blockbuster that no one's ever heard of.
Right. Well, I kept imagining, so they're going into these old-fashioned looking buildings, and the streets are still in dirt streets, and all I could think of was, how did they do that? Are those actual buildings that do exist? Did they build this set?
Facades or something?
Did they cover the roads with dirt? I mean, how did they... It was a perfect... if you like period pieces and those kind of masterpieces, this was... it was worthy on all levels. Writing, direction, editing... There could have been a little bit different in editing. But not that it was horrible, but there was a couple scenes where it did seem a little chopped, but nothing too major. The acting, the writing, so like you said, the delivery of the lines was perfect, and the relationship between the Dido and Elizabeth was, you could tell they were close. They loved each other, but they also did still have that struggle against each other because they were different, and Dido was getting this attention from somebody who was worthy in their eyes, and she wasn't, and it was just
totally.
well, actually, he wasn't worthy because he wasn't the older son,
right. But, even just touching this to make sure, to give you an example of how well I thought everyone did, the evil brothers, the brothers, that are suiting
their father,
Elizabeth and Dido, their father did a great job, hey son, kind of go get what you want. And at the same time, I thought he really came across as more interested in the decision of the court and the decision of the Chief Lord Justice to say, okay, look, what's your real decision here? What's going on? Yeah, we got the side issue, but the country comes first. Where's our livelihood? Whatever.
And this court case is, would set a huge precedent. So it was a very important case and a very important decision, as we see in history from your research. I'll take your word for it. It's pretty amazing, actually. If you do, if after you watch this movie, which you will, because we told you to,
and you wouldn't lie to us, right?
Would you?
I mean, you should have stopped watching by now.
Well, you might, and maybe
you and you.
Well, maybe that.
But
one. Yeah, that one. There.
Yeah, you and you, but not you.
I was gonna no. We've decided to try to keep crude language, offensive behaviors out of this.
Yeah.
It was a great movie. I would recommend this movie. We were trying to work on a rating system. I don't know if we ever will. I'll simply just say that I would definitely tell people that I like this movie, and you will probably like it too, if you're of like mind and like movies.
That's it.
I could act so much more sillier, but I won't.
Yeah. So yeah, as far as rating though, I mean, like I said, like I said last time, I'm against the stars. I'm against the thumbs. I will say, as far as classification, a more serious movie, but definitely a thought-provoking movie in many ways. It is definitely something that inspired me. As soon as the movie was over, like during the credits, I was actually already looking it up before... I had a picture of the original painting before they showed it on the credits.
Oh, really?
It was that good. I was like, okay, I gotta find out more.
But you do
about
that
this.
all the time. It was, again with the rating system. I know we're not doing that, and we haven't come up with something.
It's good. Watch it.
I would recommend it on two levels. One is, so there's the kind of movies that you like just because maybe you personally like them. Maybe you wouldn't tell somebody, hey, this is the greatest movie ever, but I just liked it. I liked it, and I also thought it was a good movie. It was a good movie, and I think other people would find it enjoyable too.
I hope so. I know my taste is a little bit different, so there are things that I like that other people may not get or like. Anyways. So, as far as, I think other people would like it. I think other people would really appreciate it. Maybe not the same as I would. Maybe some people will just see it and be like, well, yeah, it was a good movie. But at least it's going to be a good movie. I think most people will see this and be like, it was a good movie. It may not inspire you. It may not move you to tears. But I think you'll enjoy it.
And I think if anybody watches this, I think
did both.
And I think if anybody does watch this, they may discover this movie from our review, because I'd never even heard of this movie before you mentioned it.
A lot of people have not heard of it.
Yeah, so it's definitely, I guess you could call it a sleeper film, or it's very. I just simply didn't hear about it, and so I think for people to discover this movie, I think word of mouth will probably travel. When was it released? I didn't see that.
I don't know, but I was still thinking about Two Girls One Cup.
He's sick.
You said word of mouth.
Oh Lord. And on that note,
when was it released? It was actually fairly recent. I don't even remember where I heard about the movie, like where I found out about it.
So I wonder.
And yet, it may have been through the Red Box, or it may have been through Popcorn Time, and
so I'm wondering if it may, because May's coming up soon, April-May time frame's coming up soon. I'm wondering if maybe it'll get a few nods from the big guys at the Academy Awards, or at least I don't know. It was a great movie. I think it deserves any recognition it gets. That's positive. It deserves. It was great. Great actors, great writing. Good movie.
Yeah.
I liked it.
Yeah. I'm glad.
What more can we say?
That's it. Watch it. That's all I can say. Watch it. Make up your own mind and agree with us.
And until next time, folks.
This is Danny.
Yes, this is Sean.
And we are Noob Duds.
Yes, we are. Good night.
Good night.